listeners. Welcome to our third episode of our brand new third season of Mind Your Business podcast. My name is Mia Gomez.
My name is Carlos Mora, and we will be the host for this episode. We want to give a special shout out to CUG, powered by the Microlia Center for Innovation in Commerce, where we help current students and recent alumni to grow their business. Be your own boss.
In today's episode, we will learn how Dr. Denise Gabaldon-Thronas began her journey with Naprapathic Medicine. Welcome, Dr. Gabaldon-Thronas.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. You can give us a little introduction about yourself.
Hi. Yes, I'm. It's great to be here. It's an honor for me to talk to you, Mia and Carlos, today. So I am Denise, Dr. Denise Gabaldon-Thronas, and I'm from Ohkay, Owingeh, Pueblo, and Taos, Pueblo. So I'm a Pueblo native and basically live in Ohkay, Owingeh, Pueblo, and I started out, I'm pretty much a local native, didn't really go far from my home for school, and I got my bachelor's degree in Las Cruces at NMSU a very long time ago, and decided to finally get my degree in biochemistry. I then went to, got a job at Los Alamos National Lab, where I worked there for about 24 years. During my time there, I had a specific back injury. I just remember taking a shower, bending over, and couldn't stand up. And it really kind of concerned me. So I decided that I needed to find out why that happened to me. I'm a pretty active person. You know, I had always don't have a lot of health issues. And so I had a naprapathic treatment probably 2 years prior at my work. They came and did a stress relief day. And so I decided that I was going to give this doctor a call, Dr. Nuzzo, and try to figure out if he could answer why I had that back spasm. I went, before that though, I had gone to the doctor. They basically gave me, prescription medication. And at the time, I couldn't really be on that medication for long because I had a security clearance that required me to give full disclosure of all my medications. And so they were going to put me on kind of like on temporary restriction for work just because I was on those prescriptions. Also hold my clearance. So that meant that I really couldn't do my job. And so I called Dr. Nuzzo and asked him, if I could get an appointment, and I went in to see him, and we had a really good discussion about what was happening with my body posture. And so I had gone from working in the lab as a chemist, moving around a lot to a desk job. I became a supervisor, so I was in the office a lot more, sitting a lot more, and really not being able to do much as far as movement. And so that's how I got introduced to naprapathic medicine. And then, and then from there, because I was in biochemistry at NMSU, I had always wanted to go into healthcare, but didn't really see myself going the natural allopathic route. It just didn't sing to me, I guess is the best way I can say it, with my culture. And so I kind of didn't follow that path. And the more I got introduced to naprapathic medicine, the more I wanted to be a naprapath.
So you started with something that you were showering, you had a pain in your back, an injury. And from there, you said, let me take this as the journey of my life, my career. Let me focus on this. How amazing is that? That instead of being, I do not want to know anything about this topic because it was something bad in my life. You take resilience as your main goal, and then now you made a successful business and successful career about this. So that's amazing.
Right. Well, naprapathic medicine to me is like a holistic approach to healing. So it's not just about body posture, but it's also what we feed ourselves, right? So we have a nutrition piece to Naprapathic medicine. And so if we don't have good, healthy tissue, we can't really heal ourselves as well. So to me, it's an internal and external profession. And I think because I have that cultural experience where it's always mind, body, soul, right? In healing as an indigenous person, then that's why like Naprapathic medicine spoke to me.
Wow.
And that's why it was easy. It doesn't sound easy. It wasn't easy, but I mean, the decision for me to leave the national lab was like not even a question, right? It was like, okay, I've done a lot for the nation. Now what can I do to help my community? Because of all the health issues that our communities have, right? And not getting the appropriate health care because we only have one piece of a person, not the whole piece.
And for those listeners who have never heard about Naprapathic medicine, could you explain about what it is, what it consists of?
Sure. So Naprapathic medicine is basically musculoskeletal health. We do spinal alignment with manipulating the soft tissue of the body. And so we're very similar to a chiropractic treatment, other than we don't do high velocity techniques. We pretty much guide the body into alignment, but we've got to get blood flow into that soft connective tissue, which consists of muscles, ligament, tendons, also myofascial tissue, which comprises most of our body. And that's really what holds us up, right? A lot of people think that we're held up by our bones and all of that, but it's basically the myofascial tissue that's like a webbing, a structure, and we're hydrostatic beings, right? Because water, we are comprised of water, and that water is housed in the myofascial tissue. And so it's as long as we keep that part of our bodies balanced and our spine balanced, where all the information goes to the brain, and then from the brain to the muscles, to the areas that need to move. As long as we keep those pathways open, then the body can heal itself, or it can optimize its health. And so that's what we do as naprapaths, is really work on the structural part of the body, but then also we look at how healthy is that tissue. You know, does this person have a lot of inflammation? Does this person not drink a lot of water, right? So we can tell those things as we're doing palpations on the body to get that spine aligned.
That's very interesting. And I'm very curious to know, how long does it take for a patient to see results? Are they immediate, or does it take time?
For the most part, it does take time, especially if a person has not had a lot of manual therapy. Their body is receiving a lot of information. And so what you need to do is kind of slowly ease them into a treatment. Say if a person comes in because they have a joint out of place, then of course they're going to have immediate results because that joint's going to be put back in place. However, for most spinal misalignments, it happens usually because of pelvic misalignment. So you need to get the pelvis aligned. And then what happens is the muscles compensate for that misalignment. So you're reteaching those muscles. And so typically, I would say an average patient takes about 3 to 4 treatments before their pelvis will stay aligned, and then their spine will respond in kind. But each treatment that they get, they're optimizing their health. So it's a cumulative effort, right? So if you start at this one treatment, they're going to start seeing progress as they go along. The first thing that they always report on is that their pain is a lot less from the first treatment. They often say, I've slept better, right, after a treatment. And so we also know that in order for our cells to regenerate, we have to be in rapid eye movement, sleep. So if a person is not sleeping, they're not going to be able to regenerate themselves. So it's really important that we really target those two things. Also, if a person is really in a lot of pain, then that's where we have to look at nutrient deficiency. So if there's minerals that they're deficient in, we can give them supplements so that by the next treatment, we're able to do more with them, and they'll see results from that in like 3 to 4 days. So it's pretty, you kind of know early on whether this type of treatment is going to be effective or not.
Before this episode, I knew nothing about naprapathic medicine.
Mhm.
It's amazing to see that there's other kinds of fields where you can also get healed, and it's very innovative. So let me ask you, I have two questions for you, and I'm gonna shoot both of them, and then you can answer both.
Okay.
How long did it took you to become a doctor in that field? And what advices do you have for those students that are also interested in this field?
So our doctoral program you have to have a bachelor's degree, and you also have to have the basics, right, in health, kind of like in health sciences. Because I had a biochem degree, and I really decided to do like anatomy, psychopharmacology. I did different things that really kind of most biochemists don't take. So I was able to get into the program, even with my biochem degree, without having to do remedial courses. And most of our students have a BS degree as long as it's pertaining to, sports medicine, nursing, exercise, type of degrees. We're able to get them into the program. And then after that, it's a 3-year, I would call it a fast track. You don't get much breaks, probably a week between quarters, and you just go through the school. It's hands-on at the first set of courses. So if a person is not like comfortable with manual therapy, like they haven't touched anybody, or they're not familiar with that, they know early on also if it's not something that they're comfortable with. We always encourage our students to come to a class, just kind of check it out, just try to see what's going on in the classroom itself, because we're always the hybrid courses, what we call them, are hands-on courses. And so these are where you're teaching your hands how to do assessments, how to move tissue. And I think those are the best things to do if you're kind of questioning whether this is something I want to do. Come to a class, kind of sit in on a class. The other thing is get a naprapathic treatment, right? I mean, really kind of decide for yourself, is this something that I could do as a career? Often you're going to feel so, I guess I can't express to you how a naprapathic treatment feels unless you get one. But basically, when you have that body aligned, your spine aligned, and everything in your, from your pelvis to the tip of your head is aligned, you get up from the table and you automatically feel like a load has been lifted off your body. Because when you get that balance, you feel like a spring, right? Like, I can do more, I can walk more. I mean, you just feel so good for yourself. So I think those are the two things I would recommend, and also talk to people that are naprapaths, talk to other naprapaths, because they have different backgrounds, and I think that's the best way to understand whether it's something that you would like to do. There's other naprapaths that have their business partner with a modality, that they had before they became naprapaths. So those are good conversations to have, is how can I intertwine what I already know with what I want to do, going forward. But I think conversation is the best way.
Now, Dr. Gabaldon-Thronas, can you please tell our listeners where can they contact you?
You can contact me at dthronas, it's THRONAS, at nmnm.org. Or you can contact me at naprapathicdoctor@gmail.com. Those are email addresses that I have. I don't have a social media account at present. I'm working on that. But those are two areas that if you have questions, concerns, I check those two email addresses very often.
Perfect. And listeners, you heard it already. Go ahead and send Dr. Gabaldon-Thronas an email because this is going to change your life.
I'm gonna send you one because like, oh, I can feel it on my neck. I need it. After the exam season, that's
I
all
agree.
That's all I need.
Thank you, Dr. Gabaldon-Thronas, for your time. We're truly honored to have you as a guest in the podcast. Studio G, the Michaelia Center for Innovation, Commerce, and Blackstone Launchpad want to thank all of you, our listeners, for your constant support.
Stay tuned for upcoming episodes and remember to always mind
your business.
Thank you so much. Dr.
Thank
Gabaldon.
you.